You ready for this?
I got it. So we're just doing a quick video on volumetrics for spreading and the mechanical processes. Just brought up the fact that people really might benefit from a little conversation about the mathematical aspect of it. A lot of people kind of just shut off when you talk about math. This is nothing but a tool. So what I'd like to try and demonstrate that if I had this in steel and I knew its values, so being 2 inches by 3.5 inches, and that it is in steel, I could calculate A, its volume, B, its mass, so how heavy it is, and I can also then calculate what size square material I can produce, and if I turned it into a cube, what would it be as a cube, so on and so on. So there's a whole lot of different things, but essentially the reason that I have this is I had some 2-inch material and I wanted to make some hammers. So I kind of reverse engineered how heavy of a piece of, or how long of a piece of material I needed to create a hammer of a certain weight. So let's kind of run through this. The density of steel is, and you know, these all vary based upon alloy, but general mathematical construct is 0.284, right? Most of the steels that I'm going to deal with are in this universe. You may gain a half point here or there, but it's kind of minute. Obviously, this is pi. And then the next thing we would want to do is calculate what the surface area of this, and then from that, what the volume of this is. So, area, EA, I believe, is, brain fart, pi r squared, right? So this piece of material is 2-inch diameter, which radius, being the r, is 1 inch. And I know this is probably giving a lot of you a conniption at this point because you're going back to like primary school or something the same and just go, I don't understand it. It's not complicated. The wonderful gift that we have nowadays is there are apps for all of this. So you can go and download a free app and go, ooh, volume of a cylinder, or even just ask Google, volume of a cylinder, and it will ask you, what is your diameter, what is your radius, what is the height, and you can plug that information in, and then once you've got that figured out, you can then, based upon that volume, calculate the weight of it. Okay? So our length is 3.5. So the equation being pi r squared gives us pi being 3.141 times 1 squared, right? 1 times 1, or 1 to the power of 1 of itself is still 1. So we're just going to get pi. So 3.141, right? So 3.141 is the surface area of this bit, okay? So if we find that we go down 1 inch, I'm just going to take 1 inch of this. That means that 1 inch of this material has a surface area of 3.141 cubic inches. Each cubic inch weighs 2.84, right? Which means that 3.141, and I won't pretend that I can do this in my head, but with a little bit of guess at mathic, that's give or take 3, that's give or take 3. We're going to be having a touch shy of 1 pound, right? So if I know that this is 3.5 inches, just with a little bit of guesstimatic, and I know that this is just shy of a pound, that's 1 pound, 2 pound, 3 pound, plus a little tiny bit, I know it's going to work out at about 3.25 pounds, right? Actual math on this would be 3.141 times 3.5. Sorry, let's keep it full decimal. 3.5. I'm going to cheat and use the calculator. And I'm sure there's some whizzes out there that can do this in their head, but I've been listening to the noises on the anvil for way too long. 3.141 times 3.5 gives me 10.993. I ain't gonna fit in that. I'm going crazy. 10.9935. Okay, and then that is times by, just remember, this is how many cubic inches, so how many 1 by 1 cubes are in this. And I know because it's a cylinder, it's a little weird to think of it that way, but that is 10, or give or take 11 1 by 1 cubes, and each cube weighs 2.84, right? So if we know we've got 10 of those, that's going to give us, moving the decimal points here, that'll give us 2.84 pounds for 10 of them, but for 11 of them, we get 3.12215, blah, 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 blah. And considering your saw cut may shift a little bit, what we are looking at is about 3 1/8 of a pound. So the reason that I have that little extra meat, this was for making 3-pound hammers. So the weight of this was 3.122 blah 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 lb. The reason that I add this little extra portion here is you're going to get material loss from scale through forging. You're also going to lose a little bit of loss through punching the hole. So I usually find that I lose about 1/2 ounce in the slug when punching. So all that being said, that was designed to take a piece of 2-inch bar stock and turn it into a 3-pound hammer, right? So if I turn that into some square stock, I'm not going to do anything particular with it, but here's the thing, we got 2-inch like this. If I just shave those corners like that, got about 1.5 inches. So if I square out this material and do nothing else to it, I'm going to wind up with about 1.5 inches. We know that if we drop that to 1.5 inches, we can calculate how long it's going to be, right? So we know that hang on, where we're at. So this is our area. Here. If I go to, this is getting really crazy. Yeah, let's get rid of some of this. If I take that area and apply it to now the square material, so 1.5 by 1.5. Jess, you going to give me the number on that? I'm going to pretend to do this in my head. So 1.5 by 1.5, I think it's like 1 3/4 or something. So 1.5 by 1.5 has a surface area, right? 2.25. Okay? That was not the area, that's the volume. So the volume is that if I divide 10.9935 2.25, it gives me a length of 4.886, which is rather annoying because we are in the imperial system, which means, give or take, we're about 4 7/8 of an inch. So I'm going to hammer this down to that size. Just squaring it out. And I love using the clay for calculating these things, because I can just figure out so much without even picking up a piece of steel. Now, I actually know that this dimension is going to be way too long for the hammer in the style that I like to make. So I know that I then upset it to make it more of a rectangular construct. And I actually have a numeric matrix laid out for my hammers based on the hammer face size, which gives me the size of the rear radius, it tells me where to punch the hole, it tells me what size starting stock I should be at. This is just how I do things. It helps me have an order that I need in order to make the things that I want to make. I think that's pretty cool. Oh, still needs to go a little smaller. Right now I'm about at 5 inches, and I'm give or take 1.5 inches. It's a little plump in the middle there, but you see that from that, just give or take 5 inches at 1.5 inches square. I don't know whether my volume is perfect on this. I've now achieved that 5-inch length, which is what I was expecting, give or take. You know, and then if you say decided to put a taper on this, you know, I could actually calculate, if I turn this into a taper, how long that piece is going to go based upon the calculation of a pyramid. Right? So we know that there is a calculation out there for that. If I was going to turn that into a round point, so this being round, there's a calculation for the volume of the cone, and that'll give you another relationship to this piece of material. So this is a tool. Don't get bogged down with it. But at the same time, it's a really handy way for you to calculate things. So I can go, I need a 3-pound hammer. I calculate what the volume in steel is for 3 pounds. So 3, I've taken away that. 3 pounds, knowing that I need the sufficient cubic inches. We know that we need 10-ish cubic inches at the mass per cubic inch of 0.284. You can then start calculating, oh, I've got 1.5 inch round, or I have 2-inch square. You can then figure out how long the piece of bar to get to cut. Because in my steel rack, what do I have? I have a slug of this. 1.5 by 2. How much material do I need? I need to know that before I cut it, so that I'm not chasing material around to make my 2.5 pound hammer, my 3 pound hammer. I hope that does something. Please don't get scared by it. I know Jess and also Devon are just horrified by these constructs. but it is just another tool. If you can't deal with the math, play with the clay. If you can't deal with the clay, play with the math. It just depends where your brain is. I'm lucky I work in both worlds. All right? Good luck.